game. Hey, you should come and get this good game. Hey, hey, pray for days and nights I gave my life. Hey, so you can come and get this good game.
What is going on YouTube? I have a 5th generation battle against pokemaster1477, and leading out with Azel. I'm gonna go for the U-turn, predicting him to switch out, fearing the flamethrower, but he stays in, which is a really risky move on his part because I probably would have went for the flamethrower otherwise. And so I'm gonna go out to a Jirachi, trying to scare him out, making him think I have the Thunderbolt, but he stays in again as I go for the spikes. I mean Stealth Rock as he goes for the spikes. And so I'm going to go out to my Azel, who's immune to spikes, and he's going to whirlwind me out into my Scizor. He's going to withdraw his Skarmory for some reason, even though the only move I can actually hit it with is Superpower. And so I go for the U-turn, thinking he's going to whirlwind me out again, and I go out to my Slowbro, and because he doesn't have the leftovers, I'm thinking he's a special variant, and so I go for the Light Screen right here. But he Dragon Dances up, and I'm like, crap, because Dragon Dance Outrage is probably going to be a 2-8 KO at this point, and he's going to go for the Waterfall. So I don't know what he's thinking right now, because I don't know why he would go for the Waterfall. So I go for the Boiling Water, outspeeding him even though he's at +1 paralyzed, and Slowbro having pathetic speed. So he's going to go for the rest, and his item was Chestnut Berry, so that tells me didn't have Expert Belt or something. So he's going to go out to Skarmory, which is another bad play on his part because Boiling Water could have gotten the burn right there. And so I'm going to go for another Boiling Water, trying to get the burn. And because I went first that turn, that tells me that he went for the Whirlwind, so that crit kind of didn't matter because anything on my team could have finished off his Skarmory either by outspeeding it or finishing it off with a superpower, because Tyranitar has superpower. And he brings out his Infernape, U-turns out, and which tells me it's Scarf because of the pitiful amount of damage it did to my Slowbro, as I Thunder Wave his Doridia, which kind of sucks in a way, because I can't status it with Boiling Water or Spore from my Breloom. So he's going to go for the Butterfly Dance as I Light Screen and switch out to Scizor. And I could either Roost right here, getting up to full HP, or I could go for the U-turn, and I thought going for the U-turn would have been better because he might have gone for the Hidden Power Fire. So I'm going to go for the U-turn, pop his balloon from the Heatran, and I'm going to go out to my Tyranitar. And because he stayed in with Skarmory earlier in the game, I'm thinking he's going to stay in with Heatran, but he makes a good play and switches out to his Gengar. But unfortunately for him, he doesn't know that my Tyranitar is especially bulky and can live Focus Blast easily, and that I do still have Light Screen up, so this Focus Blast is only going to do about 200 damage, and I'm going to be able to finish it off with like Crunch. So things are looking good for me right now because I took out a Gengar and I paralyzed his Doridia. So he's going to go out to his Kingdra, who doesn't have an item anymore, and I just stay in with Tyranitar, thinking he's going to overpredict and go for a Dragon Dance. So I'm going to go back out to my Slowbro, and I'm just going to keep trying to get the burn from Boiling Water. So I go for the Boiling Water, and I do not get the burn. But the residual damage is really taking a toll on his Kingdra, because he took 3 turns of Sandstorm and 1 Boiling Water. So he's finally going to go for the Outrage, and it is going to 2-8 KO at +1. So I really want my Slowbro healthy, so I'm going to switch out, get Regeneration HP, and sacrifice my Scizor. And after 2 layers of Spikes and a +1 Outrage, even though I resist, not going to be able to live that. So he's at about half health, and I'm going to go out to my Breloom as he gets confused from Outrage. So I go for the Leech Seed instead of the Mach Punch, thinking he's going to switch out into Heatran. And right here I make a really bad play and I don't go for the Mach Punch. I go for the Spore, and I don't know, it was a bad play either way because he would have outsped me if he stayed in and rested off, and I would have just went for a Spore against a sleeping Pokemon anyway. So he's gonna go for the Butterfly Dance as I switch out to Azelf, and I make another bad play right here. And this game is just full of bad plays on my part, but I hang in there. So I'm gonna go for the Flamethrower, even though he's at +1, instead of the Explosion, which would have easily KO'd it. And he goes for the Petal Dance, and that is going to finish me off easily because Azelf is pretty frail, and he's at +1. So I'm gonna go out to Breloom and finish it off with Mach Punch. And it's 3-on-3 at this point, I think. And he's gonna bring out his Heatran, and I can't have Slowbro take a Flamethrower after taking Spike's damage. So I'm gonna leave Breloom and go for the Mach Punch, and I'm hoping I can live with Lava Plume, but I don't because it is super effective with Stab. And so I'm gonna go out to Slowbro as he goes for a Lava Plume, and I'm going to slack off the damage that he does to me. And luckily for me, he doesn't get the burn. So right here, I'm going to go for the Boiling Water to finish it off, and I'm hoping he doesn't get the burn again, and he doesn't. So that's really, really good for me. And it's 2-on-2 at this point. Kingdra and his Infernape versus my Slowbro and Jirachi. And I predict him to go for the rest because if he went for an Outrage, Jirachi would have resisted it and he would have died to Sandstorm. So I don't know if Ironhead flinches would count for the sleep turns or not, so I'm going to go for the Ice Punch, thinking it's going to be a 3-hit KO anyway with Sandstorm helping me. So I'm going to go for the Ice Punch, and the only thing he can do is try to stall out my Ice Punch PPs, but I'm eventually going to get a crit. So he's going to go for the Waterfall, knowing that Ice Punch is going to get a crit eventually, and he doesn't want to waste time. So he's going to go out to his Infernape, and I'm going to Ice Punch, and for some reason I'm faster. And that's because he EV'd his Infernape horribly wrong, and he's in a speed tie with me, which really doesn't matter because I'm able to live a close combat anyway. So he goes for close combat, 2-hit KOs me, and I'm going to go out to Slowbro and finish it off with Boiling Water. And even with a crit, he probably wouldn't be able to finish off my Slowbro. And Boiling Water is easily going to be able to finish it off, so that was a good game. And no layout this time because it takes a while for me to use layouts. So hope you guys enjoyed the game. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.